That's My Take here. I'm Evan from Evan Sports Corner.
I'm Santi from SandiegoGamer, and today we're live October 5th, I think, maybe, I don't know. And today we're going to talk about the GOAT. Who's the NBA GOAT? Greatest of all time. We all know it's LeBron James. All them boomers think it's Michael Jordan, blah, blah, blah. We all know it's LeBron James, okay? LeBron James has dominated since he touched the freaking court in his rookie debut against the freaking Sacramento Kings. Didn't he drop like 30 points on them?
From them.
As a rookie coming out of high school?
Yes, LeBron James is the greatest high school player of all time.
He's the greatest player of all time.
Well, LeBron, the thing that separates, the reason why a lot of people say LeBron's the GOAT is because most people these days don't get to see Michael Jordan play. It was a different era in the 90s. In this era, it's a cupcake era. You can drive to the basket and somebody can touch your arm and you get fouled. James Harden has proven that. LeBron James is the greatest passer of all time. But Michael Jordan is the GOAT. He's done things that nobody else has done. In an era where it was a lot more difficult to score. It was a lot more difficult to play. Players were rough. Players were tough. And not to mention, the Bulls had to go through an Eastern Conference for so many years where they lost a ton of games to teams like the Pistons and the Celtics and teams like that. Those grit and grind teams. And those playoff losses hardened them to make it to the finals. And then they went on their huge dynasty. And what's funny is, 3 years in a row, the Bulls win the championship, correct? And then 2 years, Jordan's gone to take off break and to take some time off to play baseball.
Yeah, you know why? Because he knew he was rusty and he knew he sucked.
No, it's because of the tragic death of his father.
LeBron doesn't take no breaks. You know that.
If he was so rusty, those are years of opportunities, and the Rockets won too. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, the Rockets are the next Bulls. Then the Bulls and Jordan comes back, and the Bulls win 3 more. That's dominance. He comes back after 2 years. He can change a lot in 2 years. And he still dominates it. Easily. Championships. Now, obviously, I think that one thing he did kind of weird was retiring and then joining the Wizards. That was kind of a weird move on his part. But he still made the All-Star game with the Wizards. They had no chance to win, but he still made the
All-Star game is a popularity contest. We all know this.
But still, he was good enough to make the All-Star game. And Jordan's teams, LeBron, no disrespect to LeBron. He's been amazing, but the teams that he's played on, Jordan had Pippen. Pippen, great defender, but an offensive liability in some cases. You had Rodman, who didn't have an offensive bone in his body. You had Harper, again, another defender, pure defensive type of player. And
Rodman averaged like 15 points. I don't know what you're talking about.
Rebounds. Rodman was a beast rebounder, but he didn't score the ball.
Yeah,
Jordan was the lead scorer.
Michael Jordan had a Okay, let me talk now. You're talking about how nowadays it's a cupcake league, right? And it's way harder to play defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, LeBron James is one of the elite defenders in the league. And if you're saying how cupcake it is to play defense, then you gotta give credit to LeBron's defense, because LeBron's a better defender than Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was not. He was above average defender, but he wasn't excellent. And listen, Michael Jordan was rusty. He was rusty when he was with the Wizards. He was not very good. LeBron was in the MVP race. That freaking 37 years old is at NBA Finals, is about to get his 4th ring, and Michael Jordan has a team that complements him. LeBron James always had to share with the ball with D Wade and all those guys, and Kyrie Irving, the flat Earth kid, stupid. Maximo, if you're watching this, the Earth is not flat.
The second, and another thing, LeBron probably could only have 2 titles if it weren't for Ray Allen against the Spurs hitting the incredible shot. LeBron could have 2. And he played with one of the best, probably the best big 3 of all time. Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, and LeBron, 3 Hall of Famers.
No. The best trio of all time is Jordan, Pippen, Rodman. Because D. Wade was aged. He was not in his prime. He was out of his prime. Chris Bosh was also out of his prime.
And
they were both out of their prime.
I mean, D. Wade was only in like his 7th, 8th season. So that puts him at around 28, 29 years old. So like that's like kind of
trust me, he took a step back. Look at the stats. A big step back.
Of course he took a step back. You go from being the main guy in Miami, who practically the only person you played with your entire career that's relevant is Shaq in 2006. They won a championship together. And then you bring in LeBron and Chris Bosh, 2 All-Stars? Of course your numbers are going to go down. Of course your numbers are going to go down.
What was I going to say?
You bring in as great a player as LeBron is, of course, at being the second role. Wade was great for LeBron.
Exactly. LeBron goes to teams and changes their culture. Losing cultures, like the Lakers haven't been in the finals in 10 years. Ooh, they get LeBron. The first year was not his fault.
Miami won the finals in 2006.
And then boom. They won the NBA final. They're gonna win the NBA finals, and Heat have no chance.
The Heat were always like with Dwayne Wade. The Heat were competitive. They won in 2006, and the years after they were close to making it. But
yeah, they were close, but LeBron put them over the hump and got them to the NBA final, losing to yours truly, the Dallas Mavericks, and then winning. He got to the NBA finals. He gets teams in Cleveland. Cleveland was a sucky franchise. It was like the freaking...
I'll give him credit for turning that franchise around. That was a good job by him. But another reason...
he turned it freaking around.
And people always say how... Oh, LeBron's great for going back to Cleveland. Yes, I'm happy that he did that. That was a good move on his part. But if in an alternate universe, LeBron probably wouldn't have gone to Cleveland if they hadn't gotten the number 1 pick and taken Kyrie. There was no way he would have gone back to Cleveland. Nothing. I feel like I believe LeBron was the one to make the Kevin Love trade with Andrew Wiggins. I'm not sure, but they also got Kevin Love. They had to build a good team around him so that he could sign. And then, I give LeBron credit for carrying the Cavs in like 7 years into the league against where he eventually did lose though.
He carries everybody. If you put LeBron in his prime against Michael Jordan in his prime, who would win? LeBron. It's obvious. LeBron would win. Everybody knows LeBron would win because LeBron can shoot, LeBron can dunk, and shoot the mid-range. Michael Jordan is a little sissy that only shoots mid-range fades. Oh, and goes in the layup. Oh my gosh, you're so good, Michael.
The dunk.
Like you said, you played in another era. See, LeBron plays in a more competitive era when you have to be clutcher. You have to be way clutcher because a 10-point deficit in Michael Jordan era, that would be pretty good. That would be really good because people would not make a lot of threes. Like they would make them, but not as much today. A 10-point deficit today, you can erase in 3 minutes.
LeBron just because of the era, Michael Jordan was still incredibly clutch. He practically won them a finals against the Jazz. And the teams Michael Jordan beat in the finals, the Jazz, who had the greatest duo of all time in Stockton and Malone.
Don't talk about Karl Malone. We don't want to talk about Karl Malone. Don't even say his name. He's a disgrace to basketball.
But still, an incredible duo. LeBron, I give him credit, but he went up against an unexperienced Oklahoma City team, raw talented. That Oklahoma City team was unexperienced. You had a 6-man James Harden. You had a Kevin Durant who was just coming into his own, and then you had a Russell Westbrook who was still trying to figure things out. He was a great player, but he was still playing off the ball to Kevin Durant. Russell Westbrook
Durant was a superstar. Harden and Russell Westbrook were both stars.
Harden was the
Because
sixth man.
Rockets wouldn't have traded for James Harden if he wasn't a star. You don't trade.
The reason why they
don't
traded
trade
him is
for-
because they had to trade him. They weren't. James Harden wanted a max contract because he was a sixth man.
Because
The
he was
Thunder,
a star.
well, he was a good player. He was great at his role at the time,
And he was a star.
but he was playing in Oklahoma City and he wanted too much money. So they were like, "We're not going to pay you money for a star, and if you're just a sixth man," so they traded him away. And
Well, they're dumb.
probably, but they didn't have the money because of previous trades. That they
Trade
had made.
Westbrook.
Anyway, so like those teams, LeBron, I give him respect, but going up against that Oklahoma City team, going up against the Warriors, great. That was a great win.
Yeah, the Warriors. Best team
And-
of all time.
And then the Spurs, who I'll give the Spurs credit, they were a good team. Although Duncan, Ginobili, Parker were kind of ending the years of the end of their prime. But
So was Malone.
Malone was like an MVP candidate that year.
Yeah. He was like 30.
And they were a little older. And I give them credit, but again, LeBron would not have won that championship against San Antonio without that Ray Allen crazy shot. He had bricked a shot.
But they wouldn't be in the position to make that shot if it wasn't LeBron making 33 points, 10 rebounds, and like 8 assists.
But still, he bricked one of the final shots of the game. He clanked it. He didn't even get it on the rim. He just completely clanked it.
It happens. People, one advantage to the GOAT debate for Michael Jordan is that people, like you said, younger generations haven't seen Michael Jordan play. People, when they're debating for Michael Jordan, they don't show the bricks. They just picture Michael Jordan as this perfect human being that never missed a shot. They don't show the flukes. LeBron, yeah, like you're pointing out, his bricks, yeah, because you've seen him play. You see him play now. You see his mistakes.
Finals, of course. Michael Jordan was amazing in the finals.
You're going to start with the Kawhi Leonard crap. Kawhi Leonard's trash. He chokes 3-1. Skip Bayless, you're trash. Nobody likes you, Skip. You have the worst takes. Just saying.
Why?
I don't care what Kawhi does.
Kawhi has one less championship than LeBron.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so you're saying Kawhi's better than LeBron.
No, I'm just saying he's
You're
not
saying
trash.
he's almost at his level.
No, he's not, but you said he's trash. He's not trash. Kawhi's a great player.
He's not a team player. He's not a leader. You can see that on the Clippers. What did he do? Point fingers. Points at players. Points at Doc. He got him fired. Kawhi Leonard doesn't take credibility. See, LeBron on the Lakers, he could have just pulled the LeBron and left the Lakers. No, he stood there because he believed in the Lakers. You see?
LeBron, what did you just say?
That he stayed with the Lakers when the Lakers were trash. They had nobody. Their second best player was freaking Brandon Ingram.
LeBron signed a contract that was like 4 years with like no player options in between that he could decline. He signed the contract. Anyway, it's time to wrap up the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to our channels if you are new. And
comment who you think is the GOAT.
And go check out the other That's My Take videos, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.